You were warned, Bubs. But you picked the wrong side. Beware, my friend. Shitwinds are a-comin'.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfside channel. Today with a very special topic, indeed very special topic, the Keep Trade Shitstorm Part 2. Because in the first part I was mostly only showing one side of the story. That was also because I got bombarded with information about that. And the review bombing of Steam was also a good indicator for that. That people wrote me like, what the fuck is wrong here? Wolfside, make a video, what is wrong? But now even more information came in, woohoo! But now to the what is. So Henrik reached out to me and explained to me that it doesn't matter how you decide in such a situation, the other side will get angry, of course. And he said Steam deleted the reviews and not Starbolt. And Henrik also wrote he triple checked all the logs and he asked all the GMs and stuff like that, and they triple checked it over an hour before they traded it. So I had two very interesting interviews. I will not summarize them, I will just cut out the ass, and stuff like that. So the unfiltered truth of what happened on that evening. No, it's not the truth. It could all be a lie from everyone who's participating here. I mean, everything could be a lie, but it also could be true. But let's get into the statement. So first we have Automatic, the guild leader of Imperial, and Illyria, also from Imperial. Then we have Undead, Fred from Bad Company, with Marlon from Low. I also talked with a few others and they are not directly involved, so I will not include them here. So I cutted most of the ass at the pauses between words that you can actually save a whopping 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, not exactly. And for some comments that constantly saying that I'm a lazy ass and I don't do much about these videos, yeah, I mean, you can also try it yourself. I mean, it is fun. Yeah, sitting there 5 hours and doing stuff like that, or even 10 hours. It depends on what kind of stuff.
A little history about Found and I. Found and I were both in Kodo for a long time, almost 2 years. We were both in leadership over there. And then I think it was October of last year, we decided to take a break, leave the game, go try and find something else. After like 9 or 10 months, we came back. But during our time away, we had made Imperial, the guild, and other games. So when we came back, we decided that we weren't going to come back into Kodo. We wanted to come back and do our own thing. So we did. And we set up our home in the Moki area. So while we still have a ton of friends, obviously in the coalition, because we've spent so much time over there and knew all of those people, we made a lot of new friends in the Enclave, which, is around the Moki. Well, you guys are the Moki area, so Dauntless and Pillows and Direwolves, all those guys. So we made a ton of friends there, but we weren't affiliated on an alliance level with any of them. The Enclave and the Coalition have open PvP. They don't dislike one another. It's just for content. They have, friendly PvP. But now we were in a really unique position politically because we're great friends with the Enclave and we're great friends with the Coalition. So we decided that we wanted to really make a home base in the center of the map between the two and kind of try and be the guild that bridges the gap between them. At that point, we start looking at keeps, and Pillows had the keep by Necro Dungeon and they wanted to sell it. So I'm like, okay, this could give us an opportunity to really, get stuck in over here. And Dauntless was toying with the idea of selling their keep, but they hadn't really committed to that. So I started speaking with Vandal at Pillows about their keep, and he wanted 52,000 gold. I was ready to do that, but then I said, we're stuck between the Coalition and the Enclave politically. It'd be better if we were more centered on the map, and therefore Sausage Lake Keep would probably be the best fit. I knew Low had the keep at the time. This is like 2 months ago. Low had the keep, and I knew their numbers were low.
Very low.
So okay. I approached, or Fallon and I both approached Cam. Cam is the GM of Low, and at the time he was still active. Merlin is like his co-lead, and eventually Cam fell off, stopped playing, so Merlin became, I guess, the de facto leader. But at this time, 2 months ago, Cam was still actively playing the game. So we reached out to Cam and said, hey, listen, we know you guys like your keep, and I don't want you to not have that gameplay loop. So we just think that it would be better fit for us if we were there. Because you guys are going to get a lot of heat being in the center of the map. You're literally right next to Bad Company's village. They're probably going to be fucking with you all the time. And you just don't have the numbers for it. We do. So let's do this. I will pay you 52,000 gold. This is the first offer we made to Low 2 months ago. I said, I'll pay you 52,000 gold so you can go buy Pillow's keep. So you still get a keep. Okay. We told Cam, we'll give you 52,000 gold so you can go buy Pillow's keep. So you still get a keep. We'll also give you 8,000 gold just for cash on hand, just extra gold.
Okay.
We will also replace all of your TC structures. So that's about 20,000 gold plus prominence. We'll use our prominence, we'll use our gold. So you don't lose anything. You still get a keep. You get 8,000 gold in your pocket, and we replace all of your TC structures, and we'll help you build them at the new keep. All we want is Sausage Lake Keep. Oh, and at the time, we had spoken to the coalition. They said that they really wanted us to be in Sausage Lake Keep 2 for the reasons we talked about earlier, which is just to kind of be that go-between the enclave. Well, what I was going to say is we also, in addition to that deal, we got a guarantee from the coalition that they would give siege support to low, siege defense support to low. So if that keep, if the new low keep, the one by Necro Dungeon, was ever sieged, the coalition would come and support. So we're effectively telling low, we'll give you a keep, we'll give you 8k gold, we'll replace all your TC structures, and you have coalition support to defend your keep if it's ever attacked. And he said no. They, low's part of the enclave, and again, we're very close. We were very friendly with the enclave. So we said, well, all we can do is offer. We can't siege them. So it is what it is. So at that point, we just kind of went about our business and whatnot. But at that point, the seed had kind of been planted, it seems, in the enclave that it would be much better for us to be there than for Low to be there, because now, like a month later, Low starts getting attacked by Bad Company, and they don't have enough members online to even know they're being attacked. So Bad Company took their supply lines for free and took their gate, and Low didn't even know it happened. They logged on and it was all gone because no one's online to get the alert, right? So at that point, the enclave is like, this is actually a problem for the enclave that you're in this keep, because if the enclave has assets, particularly like keep assets, and we don't even know it's being attacked because you can't even field enough people to be online, we need to make a change here. The enclave leadership put up a vote within the leadership and said, are we willing to give Low a stronghold or potentially even Dauntless Keep? Bratu offered to give Dauntless Keep to Low to get them out of it, just because again, Sausage Lake Keep is in such a hot area, and they still refused. Then they offered to buy them a stronghold, a T3 stronghold, and place it wherever they wanted so they could have those assets. And again, we then came in and said, and if you do that, we will buy all your TC assets for you again and build those for you. And they still said no. So then the enclave said, at this point, we need you out of the keep. We got to have an actual guild in that keep that can defend it. So they said, the enclave put it to a vote asking the other enclave leaders if they would be okay, if they would authorize Imperial sieging the keep to remove that asset from Low, because they wouldn't budge. So that vote passed unanimously. And at that point, now that I know that that's an option, our big concern was that, Bad Company had the gate. Yeah. They owned the gate, and they'd owned it for like a week at this point. Bad Company's a mercenary guild. They're there to make money with whatever they, through whatever means that they can. So we were concerned that they were going to sell that gate to Levia or Nightmare, just some other guild, right? So I went to, Found and I both went to Bowden, and we said, we want that gate. We don't want you to open the gate, because then we have to rely on you to do that. We want to own that gate. So what would it cost for you to demolish the gate, and then we'll come and place a new one? So he gave us a price. We countered, brought him down a little bit, and then agreed. And to his credit, he followed through on that. He told us when he was going to demo the gate. It's a 4-hour timer when the gate demolish button is clicked. And then, after that 4-hour timer was up, we were there ready with a new gate. And during that time, Low contacted a bunch of other guilds to have them come and try and stop us from doing that. So we're actively fighting these guilds off. The gate goes down, and while we're still actively fighting, Low comes out of the stronghold with a gate deed and puts it down, and they all start building it up while we're still actively fighting out in front of the keep. So we have to beat everybody back. We killed, the enemy force, and then we had to go and beat down the gate that Low had put up. They had just started to build. It was like at 17 or 18,000 HP, and all we had was pickaxes. So we beat it down while they're, tossing fireballs at us, and their mythics trying to come up from behind us and kill us again. And during that time, we had been told, as we were actively fighting, we had been told that there was a large force coming, an even larger force that was coming to attack us. So when we had spoken to Bowden the night before about the gate, Bowden said that, he hates Low, he hates Merlin, he thinks he's an idiot. I mean, just trash talking the guy, and says he's denying all the content in the area because he doesn't have a real guild, and he can't actually fight, and he doesn't want Low in that keep anymore. He's like, I don't care who owns the keep, I just don't want it to be Low because I want content, and I'm never going to get content with Low in that keep. So he's like, if you want the keep, that's why I'm happy to do this deal. So it's hilarious now that, of course, Low is in his guild after he trash talked him like that. But when we were having that conversation, he said, I so badly want Low out of that keep. If you want me to help you siege it, I will help you siege it. That's Bowden telling me that. As we're fighting for this front gate and we hear that another large force is coming, I DM Bowden and I said, you told us last night. I said, we're fine with the force that's here now, but I have intel that we have another large force coming. And you told me last night that if you really want Low out of this keep, or that because you want Low out of this keep, you'd help us siege it. So Are you going to make good on that? Because I'm calling for you now. And in his defense, again, he sent his boys and they helped hold back the fighters while we placed this new gate. As soon as we put our gate down, I DM'd LGM Discord and I said, because I was worried a transfer was going to happen because this has happened before. Yeah, I'll send you I can't send him or his DM, but I can send my DM.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That doesn't show that it's with LGM Discord. So for the sake of proof, hold on. I'll scroll down so it shows the chat bar. I DM'd LGM Discord and I said, just a heads up, we sieged the front gate of Low Keep in our alliance and placed a Kodo gate on it while we siege their supply lines and towers. This is an active siege, so please do not move forward with any requests from Low to transfer the keep to anyone. And the reason, and just so we can clear up any confusion, this was a siege for Imperial to get the keep. The reason we put a Kodo gate on it, and this was Kuthar's idea, and props to him. Kodo has over 100% defense bonus because they have a keep and they maintain that, right? Imperial did not at the time, so we wanted to. So it was Kuthar's idea to put a Kodo gate on it while we go ahead and siege towers and get supply lines to build our defense up, and then we would swap gates. So he would demo that gate, and we would put up an Imperial gate once we had that defense bonus up.
Okay.
The reason we didn't have the defense bonus up ahead of time is because, again, I was really concerned that Bowden was going to sell the gate to another party that we wouldn't be able to work with. I wanted to just move on getting the gate as quickly as possible in coalition control, and then worry about getting Imperial's defense bonus up. So does that make sense?
Yeah. But my question is now when the trade was happening exactly.
Yeah, so I'll get to all that here in a second.
No one could even answer me that.
Yeah, I'll get that's coming up here. So you see here at 9:41 p.m. I DM LGM Discord and I say that, right?
Yeah.
And then we make good on what I said there. We then went to Moki. Imperial did, our whole force. We bought supply tower deeds, we bought supply line deeds, and we started to go take towers around the area. And then Bowden told me, let me back up for a second. We had, as part of our agreement with Bad Company, a ceasefire for 24 hours. Okay, so we won't attack them, they won't attack us. And I included in that, and my guys are like, all these Bad Company towers around, we can take these really easy. I'm like, I understand that. We'll take those tomorrow, but we have a ceasefire in place with Bad Company that I'm going to honor because they honored their part of it and came and helped us. So we're not going to take their towers right now. And the two supply lines in front of Low Keep were Bad Company supply lines. So that is part of that ceasefire in my mind. I told my guys, I'm like, we're just going to go take other supply lines so we can honor our part of that ceasefire agreement. Okay. I say to Bowden, I'm told that, Low has their supply lines still up. Do you know where? Because earlier in the day he was like, and I'll show you this too. Bowden had informed me. This is before I DM'd LGM Discord. So notice the timestamp on my DM with LGM Discord. It's 9:41. Yeah. This is before Bowden said, however, there are two supply lines that you need destroyed across the map. That might be something we can handle. So this is Bowden literally offering support to help destroy low supply lines so we can siege. He knows we're going out to go siege supply lines, clearly, by his own admission right there, okay? So after I DM'd LGM Discord, and I know we're going to go take towers and supply lines, I DM'd Bowden, and I said, and I'll show you this too. I asked Bowden here, do you know which supply lines Low has? And he said one at Dauntless Keep and one at Unbroken. Okay, so this is as we're, riding out to take supply lines and towers. I contact Bratsu. He said the supply line at Dauntless Keep had been removed by Dauntless. So that's no longer in Low's control. We went and took 6 towers. We were on which took about 3-ish hours or so.
Holy shit, yeah. This takes a lot of time, yeah.
Yeah, and then as we were on the way to...
One second, that's because we went down to the jungle because we were trying not to bust everybody else's towers around us because we all knew them.
Not only that, but specifically Bad Company's towers too.
Yes.
It could have been a lot faster, but again, as you can see from the DMs, we had an agreement with Bowden that we had a ceasefire. So it would have been much simpler for me to just take the supply lines out front of Low Keep and take the towers all around Sausage Lake that Bad Company had, but we had that ceasefire, so we had to go east of Moki and then south into the jungle to take towers. So it ended up taking about 3 hours. Oh, okay. As we were on our way back to Moki to pick up the supply line deed to go over to UBG's keep and take that supply line, that's when we started getting word.
Well, we stopped for a quick bio, and by the time we came back, it was already transferred.
People were telling us that the keep's transferred. Like, there's no fucking way. So we had somebody go over and look, and sure as shit, it was transferred. Yeah.
And because it was transferred at that time, we didn't realize it because in Ghost form, you can't see names. The gate had been transferred. They're like, well, no damage was done to the keep, right? Because we were getting supply lines because we needed a defense bonus prepped. Yeah, but you weren't in front of the the keep swinging swords. There was no damage done. So now you're telling us there's an order of operations that we should adhere to that's posted nowhere. There's a timeline that's posted nowhere. We were like, I was literally on until 2 o'clock in the morning, helping to take towers so we could have a defense bonus to then go get the supply line. So
okay.
even if you say, okay, it comes down to a difference of opinion, what you honed in on in your video is really what we need to be talking about. And it was it is that because of staff interference, they had control of a gate that they weren't actively sieging. And even Bowden goes on to agree with me, and that's why he tells Henrik in that chat that we were in, give her the gate back. That's actually fair because we didn't siege down the gate. But by that point, they had the gate for so long, they were able to get supplies in, a legacy priest in.
This was the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
okay.
they'd had the gate for like 16 hours at that point. So they moved people in, like she said, they put a priest down, Nightmare bound to that priest.
So we understand we were going to have to siege it from low in the end. But like now you have broken this siege in a way that is substantially harder and there's no recompense for us. How do you make that right? When in actuality, there is a way to transfer keeps, and it's exactly how we transferred that gate. We fought for it. It degraded, we fought for it. So why is staff getting involved when you just have to do it that way? And the other thing is TC is a huge part of the game, correct? And we're all sitting here talking about content. We want content. We want content. There should be no way that a two-man guild can tie up a massive piece of content like that. So it just shows that not only on the mechanic side things need to change, but by staff directly being involved, they broke the siege. And there's no, even if you don't agree with us about how we went about continuing to siege the keep, and we made a noob mistake, which I contend we didn't, because again, it's not written anywhere. You cannot deny that a massive unfair advantage was made by one side over the other.
Yeah, of course.
But I also want to counter the propaganda a little bit too, because it's getting really frustrating.
That was also a very interesting thing. I just can interfere here a little bit. Like the shit was happening, and the next day I got bombarded from Koto members and a lot of other people like you need to cover this, you need to do this, you need to this was happening, and I'm like, what the fuck? And normally I'm not getting so many messages, and I'm like, okay, I need to cover this in a video now.
Yeah, well, and that's what's so frustrating too, because like guys like Bowden, for example, he knows exactly what was going on. I'm showing you the DMs. He knew we were going to take supply lines. He knew we were going to take towers, and he knew we had a ceasefire. So he knew exactly what we were doing. So to sit there and act like, oh, but you weren't, you didn't drop Mangs on it yet. No shit, we didn't drop Mangs on it yet. I had 70 sitting in my bank ready to drop on it, but we weren't going to do that until we had defense bonus built up, obviously. And you knew we were going to do that because you told me where they were.
So take your defense bonuses for everything that you have because we had a ceasefire. So in our minds, we were just doing everything right by everyone else. But again, I was told, well, you weren't in front of the keep swinging on it. Even to take that supply line, our people could not have been in front of the keep swinging on it because their supply line is over by the Necro Dungeon, which know how far that is from Sausage Lake Keep. So it just highlights all the areas that this is wrong.
And the other thing is, we couldn't take Bad Company's supply lines in front of Low Keep because Bad Company had like 170% defense bonus or some shit like that. We would have had to go around taking Bad Company towers before we could even siege their supply lines. So this whole notion that there's no fighting out front, we know because it wasn't an option.
And like I DM'd Bowden at 1:50 in the morning my time, and that's after like genuinely a 10 or 15 minute bio break for all of us to like let our dogs out and stuff like that. And it's like, Bowden, word travels fast, but maps don't lie. Like, what just happened?
We offered low and tried to be fair to them. The only reason we didn't siege it 2 months ago is because it was out of respect to the Enclave. We only sieged it because the Enclave said, we agree this is bullshit, you just need to take it because they're being unreasonable, So
oh man.
Yeah, that's it. Just try to be fair for a couple months, and then try to honor an agreement we had with Bad Company, which ended up biting us in the ass. We should have just taken their supply towers. We should have just taken their supply lines right there, and then just continued the siege. But
I think
You
the
know.
other thing too that I don't think Henrik and the staff understand, and you understand because you're a GM, is the amount of energy it takes to get people engaged to even do something like this. When
Yeah.
we all know that sieging
Taking towers isn't fun.
isn't fun or easy or right now. The mechanics are just wrong. Like that tanks engagement, which is harder than getting together the supplies to even start the siege to begin with. So that's what they really don't understand.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
like you
This
just
the other
tanked
stuff can't
engagement.
understand that. Can't understand that. It's only
Yeah.
people who play all the time can understand that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That was pretty interesting. So now also to the other interview. So I had a little interview with Undead Fred from Bad Company and Merlon from Low. So if you, your guild or whatever also have something to say to the whole topic of this thing, then please contact me. I guess we can arrange that. It was just interesting to hear the other side of the story. If it's true or not, I can't prove, because I wasn't there. And there's also a pretty interesting story to hear the other side. In the background is footage of Undead Fred. This video is also linked in the description. There's with sounds and with the communications. That was pretty awesome.
Hey
Yeah,
Merlin,
lot.
let me ask you: Do you want to give your side of things, or
Yeah, I
do you
do.
want to bring in Cam and have him?
I would like the truth to be out the most importantly.
Guys, it's a little bit late, but yeah, we can do that.
I guess Merlin, your side of things. I start from the beginning. Start with like your first interactions with Bad Company and like how our conflict started.
So I'll start with a while back when we first got the keep. We purchased the keep and we moved here from MK. We decided that this was the better option for Low as a guild, and we came over here and had fun interactions with Bad Company. From my perspective, I enjoyed fighting them. I enjoyed dying from them. Of course, it's a learning experience in the game. You do nothing but learn. We have had constant war with them for several months now. Everybody that has been in my guild has all decided the same thing as well, that Bad Company has been the only person that has been whooping our ass for continuous months. You know, I think it's kind of strange and absurd that there are other people considering that there was active siege going on with any other party other than Bad Company.
The Enclave and how you made.
So basically, I was in the Black Lotus when we lived in Morinker. We joined up with Danny's group. We had no knowledge of anything in past prior to anything. We had a good time with Danny. I could say that with our group together, we came out with more victories than losses. We got the Sausage Lake Keep. We decided that it's no longer in our best interest to stay in Black Lotus. You know, Lord Council voted. We decided to pull out. At that time, we decided to pull into Enclave. You know, I had no prior knowledge knowing that if we joined an alliance that anybody would try to barter anything of mine, especially when they had nothing of any purchase inside of what is mine. You know, we joined Enclave. We've had nothing but loss, in my opinion. I get it, everybody has their own. Everybody can say that they've had victories when I call them losses. My thought on a victory would be we go out on the battlefield, we wipe the opponent, we're finding their loot and we're taking their loot back to our place. Okay, their victory may be having a good time. You know, every time when we've interacted with Bad Company as the Enclave, pulling in 10 to 15 different, you know, guilds, however many it may be, we've lost. It's a bad loss, and I don't understand how people can take that as a concept to wrap their head around. Enclave has showed support to Low. They've came out, they've supported against fighting Bad Company, but at that we've lost. Me and Cam specifically, traded a ring to Danny for his mercenaries to come back and help fight for us at the time of, you know, a couple days ago. You know, we've been, I'd say, even fights with Bad Company. Would you agree, Undead, that we've
They were certainly a lot more closer than they were ahead of time. Yeah. Really, we only had one fight against you guys when you had Danny, and that was the fight. I think it was the day before we sold that front gate.
And I may add, Rising Sun Alliance. They've shown massive support with me as well. They've came in with my group that we hired, Danny's mercenaries and etc. And Enclave was nowhere to be found at that time. I have messages from the leadership comms of Enclave of them saying, hey, we're going to give the green light go on Imperial to come take the Sausage Lake keep. Me kind of confused why they're trying to sell my keep with me saying no.
Okay, that sounds a little bit strange.
They've sold me out to the Coalition and Cathara because Fallen and Automatic have been trying to get this keep for a long time. And I have not wanted that. I want this as my home. I want to be able to live here whether I'm a fucking one-man guild or not. If I'm one person, I've been ruling this shit, and I've caused some fucking havoc with what I've done. My main concern here was that there was a lot of misinformation being fed upon everybody. Bratsu's going to say what he wants to say. I got Cathara over here only showing half the messages of what happened within Henrik, lead game master, and Rob Mo conversation.
Okay. I don't know how private these conversations are, man. I honestly, get that the other side is leaking out the piece that they want to get seen, but I don't know. That's a conversation I have to have with the GMs. Hey, can I go ahead and just give up this entire conversation?
What I don't
want to burn a bridge. I understand. Here's my worry. We'll say, and this is why I would be hesitant to put out the conversation, and why I haven't put out the conversation yet, is because it's one thing when the GMs and the CEO of the company brings you in and says, hey, let's get to the bottom of this. Can you please have a conversation with me like a human being? All right. Not like a propaganda machine, not, as some weird internet warlord, but hey, come here and have a conversation with me and let's figure out the bottom of this. And then, I don't like this conversation, so I'm gonna fucking, like you had a level of trust in me. You had a level of, like actually seeing me as a human being. And what do? I'm gonna fucking stab you in the back and, hey, here's every private conversation I've ever had. I mean, it doesn't sit right with me.
No problem. I totally understand that. So no problem.
My point of this is that they didn't talk in that interaction of what was said. It was me, Cathara, Bowden.
Cathara did most of the talking.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that, because Cathara wants to sit there and he points out a couple messages, and at that, he pointed out the one message Rob Mo said. Rob Mo said one thing, and that was to sum up the whole bit of it, because he watched for several hours, I think, upon that. The conversation went on for a long time, and he summed up what everybody, Henrik, lead game master, Rob Mo, made a decision. They're done with this stuff now. They're not going to intervene with any more keep stuff because of this, what just happened, because Cathara has blown up and made everybody go review Drom Bop that shit. And their game has fucking had, over 100 bad reviews? That's terrible.
A few people are writing me like, this negative reviews, holy shit, what is going on, and stuff like that. So I looked at the negative reviews and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
And this conversation happened for over an hour and 30 minutes, I can see right now. So that's something that Rob Mo, Henrik, and lead game master sat in a call, I bet, and they sat there hating and dreading this because of what's going on, because of what I want, because they think that my keep is not mine off of me not owning the gate. That is not how that shit should be.
Before we get back on topic and do story time, let me just say this. I actually agree with the Henrik's or the other game designer's decision of not facilitating the transfers through GMs, right? Because it's one thing if there's an in-game mechanic to transfer a keep, and if you don't like the outcome of that transfer, right? Oh man, it shouldn't have been able to done this time, or hey man, we need to make a rule so this doesn't happen, or whatever. What you're getting mad at is the mechanics, right? Yeah. Whereas, when LGM does the transfer and you don't like it, well, now it's personal and you're messaging LGM, and it just encourages this utterly kind of psychotic behavior that we're seeing from Cathara and gang, right? Because, it's just completely and utterly overruled by their emotions, right? So it's one thing to be mad at a game, but it's another thing to be mad at people and to be this utterly fucking unhinged about it. How long we've been sieging, and who has controlled those Sausage Lake supply lines, who hit your depots, who hit your internal buildings, all that stuff.
So, if I'm not mistaken, it's November now. We've been actively fighting you guys for over 2 months, and at that, I've had a break. I'd say a month ago, there was a member that we ended up kicking out, and then at that, a couple of my members have left at that to join into them, and They basically created their own thing, did their own thing. We stayed here. I chose to keep the keep and try to keep building up low. They, bad company, took that upon themselves, and they took that as a bonus, and they came inside of my gate. They destroyed my supply depot house, making my defense lower very, very fast. They destroyed both of the supply lines I own, and they were actively going around and hitting the other supply lines I'd put up other places. At that, it's been rough. I have to say that they've held out on it. They haven't tried to make me quit the game. They've tried to make me feel that I can go to them if I would need be. You know, they've always been here, join. You know what I mean? Come on, join. You know, we don't want to kill you. We don't want to take down your shit. We don't want to destroy all this. We want you to join. We want you to come join bad company. You know, it's always been that. It isn't like a sudden thing that bad company says, "Oh, hey, come join." It's like I sent Bowden the DM saying, "Hey, you ready to chit chat?" You know, I was like, "Hey, I'm ready to talk."
Where is your supply lines? Right. Let me ask you. You had defense? Yeah.
Let me just say this, Wolfsheet. They still have not hit my stuff on low. They have not hit it. They have not even tried to. And what they have said is complete lies, because when they left at maybe my time, 8-9 p.m. I can have people.
So yeah, the time window is also very, very, very interesting. But what is the time zone, by the way?
My time is Eastern, EST. That's like New York time. Let me ask you this: did Cathara say that he wiped out everybody at the keep as well? Is that what he said?
I can only say what the people wrote me, that they really tried to siege the keep, and they got interrupted because they were running out of low on stuff, and they needed to get the supply lines and shit, and then they left, and then the trade was happening, and then they were all pissed. This is at least
I could get a couple people, and I could get them to send you the videos, and I have people sending me them now. They basically never placed down any Maganons, any siege equipment.
Wait a second, no one placed a Manganon?
No, I promise you that.
No fucking shit, you're saying they didn't place the Manganon?
Did they send you videos of them doing it? Because I can send you videos of them not. Yeah.
That is a very, very good point. I mean, a lot of people wrote to me about the negative reviews, and I'm like, yeah, of course I need to make a video about that, and also Koto members reached out to me.
Hey, let me... Undead, may I add in the part of where you guys came in to hit demolish on the gate? Is that
yeah, go for it, man. Yeah.
Alright, so here it comes. I myself, as the only low member on in the game, I tell Digi, I tell him, get your ass to Tindrum and buy me a gate extension deed. He gets to Tindrum. He's on his way back, his lonesome self. Nobody's there to protect him. His ass travels through the lake, and he makes it to the keep. Alright? Bad company comes. I see 30 plus of them run through, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? They kill me. The gate, they have hit demolish on it. Okay? They have excluded themselves out of the problem at that time. At that time, obviously, that's not when I went to them and said, hey, I'm going to join you guys. You know what I mean? Like, hey, come over here, you know?
Yeah. And just to clarify real quick, we'll say we were paid to do this. We were paid by Coalition to destroy this gate. Or destroy our own gate that we put out there.
They sold my front gate. How does that make me feel? It makes me feel like I'm going to get my own fucking gate back before Coda does, okay? Me, I get everything around. It's got about 25% left. Okay, the gate disappears at 25%. I start flipping my shit. I have to place the gate down. I place my gate down as low. My gate was placed down as low. I build it up just the tiniest fucking bit. But then Kodo comes in with Imperial. Enclave was even there, if I shall add.
He gets sieged by his own alliance.
Dude, there were blue people killing me. Okay, that does not make me feel any better. Okay. I'm falling back inside of my castle, and I'm like, damn it. And we close the gate. That was that, and they start pickaxing the fuck out of the gate. My goal was to try to get the fuck on top of the gate and build it up. And I failed at that several times. And they can see that because they killed me when I fell on the gate. They were laughing at it, okay? So they destroy my gate and they place down Kodo Gate. They happily, build it up. And after that, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mythic rolls in, and I think they're fighting Mythic. And then at that, my guys inside of the castle, I have 50 plus inside. We're all wondering what the hell's going on. Why is Kodo backing out? We got a couple of the people running around on mounts checking out the situation. It so seems that they have not placed any Maganons down to siege anything. They have not done anything of that sort, and the only tents that were placed down were bad company. So, and that was from previous past times.
Yeah, it was the tent that we left from like our initial.
Yeah, from supply lines and shit like that. So whether they twist it any way they want, I'm here to spread the truth, and I'm here because I'm the one that lived it. I'm the one that's been stressing out, sitting here having the problems and having to wake up and having to deal with all of this shit, being the one man guild. I don't give a fuck. I'm the one telling the truth here. It's so sad that they ended up backing out, and they didn't do anything else. They can say that they go in to take the towers and take the supply lines, but are you in game, Wolf Sheet?
I'm very rarely in-game, because I simply don't have the time for it. I just changed my job. I have a 9-to-5 job, a normal job, and the YouTube hobby is also taking a lot of time and all the other shit in my life, so I had very limited time. But when I play, I'm having fun. I'm having real fun. but I'm not involved in the politics. I'm not even involved in the Wolfside Guild organization, more or less. I'm just managing the Discord, managing the people, taking cover of the recruits, and the rest is not organized by me. And you're getting a lot of DMs all the time about various stuff and shit like that. But this topic was very special.
My DMs have been blowing up off the charts as well, and I have had nothing but, I'd say for the past, like yesterday and the day before, I've had a lot of good sleep because I haven't had to stress about what's going on and shit. Because now I have people on the same page as me. Any problem with what I chose to do with my castle, being that it was, it was mine. I don't know what the big deal is. Like, I know that if you have a stronghold and whether you're getting attacked with a Maganon and they stop today and tomorrow they try to recome and keep doing it, and if you transferred that to another person and you sold it the day before, like, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like there's a law that says, oh, you can't trade that. That's underneath siege. You have to wait until nobody wants to siege that. Just because it's a keep and there's 16 of them in the game, and I've chose to do something that has dramatically changed the game and people's perspective, because I have been stabbed in the back, literally, by my alliance. What else am I to do? I contacted people and I said, hey, my gate's not owned by me. How do I get this back? And they said, oh, you're supposed to get an alliance. And I said, God damn it, my alliance just stabbed me in the back. I said, fuck. I said, this is not going to work out for me. I don't know what else I was supposed to do, just leave it in low. I mean, we could have went that way, and we even offered to go that way with everything, and it's not my decision,
And we'll say, so let's say, I'm going to tell you what the GM's ruling exactly was. I'm sure you probably already saw Rob Mo's post about it. But the ruling was that the transfer was going to remain low to bad company, but the front gate extension was going to remain in the hands of Kodo. That's ultimately what they agreed upon. And we've already destroyed that front gate extension. It's no longer there. But
and at that, nobody can hate on Star Vault for not adding in. Like, I get it, we can all try to hate on them and everything, but they're doing their best, okay? They can't sit there and think that, oh, what if we would transfer the keep and the gate would be owned by somebody else? Would it transfer into the person's ownership that it just got transferred to? They've never sat there and thought that, probably once at that. They never thought that anybody would take the gate. I don't know if that was an implementation that they wanted. Yeah, so I mean, for Cathara, or if I'm not mistaken, even anybody out there that's hating on them for that, they need to get their facts straight and actually start looking at the bigger picture rather than the small little picture.
Let me ask, Merlin, you'd know this. Is that supply line still up right now?
That's what I was going to ask Wolfsheet if he wanted to go take a picture of it right now, because I
have a picture of it just
If you have some pictures, just send it to me. I mean, I'm getting bombarded with infos and stuff like that, but the more the better. Just send it to me.
Yeah, Yolrich was asking me to go demo that so then he don't have to waste a mag and and stuff, so I was like, yeah, I will. I've just been busy. Everything's been kind of blowing up.
I think, well, this is what I want to know too, okay? Are the other side seriously suggesting that, because again, what is a siege? Well, if you don't take any supply lines, if you don't attack the enemy supply depot, if you don't put down any siege weapons, okay, how is it a siege? Is merely declaring the intention to siege a siege? So if I said, Cathara, Kodo, keep right now. I intend to siege you. This is a formal declaration of siege. I am now sieging you. Don't worry, I'll let you know when it's over. Is that the siege?
Exactly. And now, Wolfsheet, he can never sell that castle. He can never try to sell that castle unless we agree with that.
Unless we say, hey, actually, you can sell it, but you can only sell it to us or anybody we approve of. You can't give it to anybody else. And that's another thing. They were 100% fine with him transferring that keep. They were okay with him transferring it to Azog. They were okay with him transferring it to Imperial. They were okay with him transferring it to Kodo. The only person they were not okay with him transferring it to was us.
But it's my decision, is it not? If I'm the one I'm the one that placed this down, my own character Merlon, I did it. I never had to type in a password once to that keep. I'm the decision maker in what happens to my items.
I would say if you're looking for a third party though to collaborate, actually, Ulrich is messaging me now. I would. Look, Ulrich is on the other side of this thing, man. He's the enemy. We fought him the day before at the front of those gates. We fought them. Okay, yeah.
Well,
I just got a message from Ulrich. He's saying, "Look, I don't want to get roped into this," which I don't blame him.
He's my friend though. He's good. He's a good guy. He came to my aid several times, and he's been a great help. Those were the people you were fighting. I want to point that out too. That Enclave was never the good fight there. They might have pulled the 80 plus people. Yes, they did. I was in the comms with them. They were chaotic at that. Everybody's screaming, everybody's fucking crying, everybody's dying, everybody's flipping out. You got fucking Phyllis over here riding through on a Malva, and everybody's scrambling, and everybody don't know what the fuck to do. Nobody's using any skills that are put into the game. And it's like there is no training. There are no setups with anything. I guess I am exposing them. Fuck it, There's just not any setup with that shit, man. There is not, and it's bad.
What was like kind of the lead up for them, like reaching out to Coalition and working with Coalition to remove us? Were you privy to kind of like their grander plans of using Low as like a staging ground to hit us in the future or anything like that?
Oh yeah. See, if I wouldn't be asked these questions, I'd feel so lost, because I literally do smoke a lot of weed, and I'm not very, I'm not very out there with this. I have so much information that if you just ask me it, I can tell you it. Okay, so basically, Bratsu for the past month. Okay, he has been in my ear, and remind you, that's the leader of Dauntless, okay? That's probably the leader of the Enclave. That's like your Cathara. You got your big action figures in there and shit, and fucking, you know what I mean? So, anyways, Bratsu's wanted me to sell this to Imperial. That's right, sell it, and I'd get money out of it, But is that what I want to do as me, Merlon, and Lo? No, I don't. I don't want to sell this. I don't want to give up my home. This is my place. I bought the castle. I wanted to stay in the castle. I wanted to keep fishing Blood Coup on top of the fucking towers, and I wanted to get my reptile carapace on top of the towers. I don't give a fuck. If it sounds cheesy to you, it sounds like motherfucking... It sounds great to me, dude. It sounds great to me. I can sit up on the towers, and I can fish all day for free, and I can have a good time talking to the homies, okay? If you don't think that's a good time and nobody's gonna fuck with you on top of your keep, you're wrong. That's a great time, okay? They wanted Imperial to be staged out of the castle so that they can deal with, and they as in Coalition, they can deal with bad company. They've wanted that for over a month now. They've wanted to plant Imperial in here. Fallen's been texting me and saying, hey, I just want to talk. And I didn't want to talk. And I'm not trying to be a dick and be like, no, fuck off, thanks for the offer, good, screw off, but I just ignore them. It's a game, you're gonna come, you want my castle, come take it. That's the whole thing. Drop some mags on the gate, take the gate, go from there, take the castle. It's got 29 million hit points at that. I had over 30 defense bonus the whole time. They can say that they tried to siege the supply line at Dauntless. I went over there and I hit demo. On a supply line. I had 2 of them. And then it went to 25 defense bonus. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they'll be doing very much damage to a keep if I have 25 defense bonus.
We'll say there's only one person who dropped mangs to take out a front gate. And that was Bad
yeah.
Company.
And at that, let me say this. I logged in after, working that day. I get on and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see how the keep's doing and everything. And I see 4 Magadons, and I get pinged for over 60 people on my alert tower, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god. I'm freaking out, not knowing what to do, and I'm watching my gate's health chunk. They've already won, and I found a way to save my castle. They took the gate, and I placed unbroken supply line down. So Yo Ridge saved my ass like a motherfucker, and I placed that shit down, and it saved my gate. They weren't doing any more damage because it went over 20 defense bonus to the keep. They were like, all right, guys, well, let's not waste any more mags. I assume, you know what I mean, if that's what they were doing, and they left. At that, they sold my gate to Kodo. They sold it. They made some good money at that. I can't hate on that,
But that's the story. I mean,
if you want to know anything else, please ask, because I'm filled with information.
Well, and it's one thing for like the average person inside, I don't know, like Coalition or Kodo to not know this. Why would they? They were never here. They were never around the Sausage Lake area. They're hanging out in Majuli. But it's another thing for Catharia just to sit there and lie. He knows better, and he's spinning this the exact way he wants to spin it.
For someone who's not involved like me, I mean, everyone could be lying. So if I ask the other side, then they would say you guys are lying or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. He might say the same. But one of us is telling the truth, the other's lying. You're right. He would lie about me lying too. Right? I mean, yes. Well, truth is independent from the observer. Right? And I really do believe that. Yeah. So, you're right. You're going to have to make up your mind. You're going to have to look through the evidence. But I suspect when you look at this just a little bit closer, you're going to find one side's being honest with you, and the other one's trying to take you for a ride.
I mean, I'm completely neutral here. I'm not involved, and I don't care.
I know that I've lived to tell the tale of what has happened the past couple days. I know my girlfriend's pretty pissed off about what's happening. I've had no time to go do anything other than fucking sit here and worry about a goddamn castle. Say is that I am the man of the nav, okay? And I have caused such a rupture to people that I have pissed them off, and they don't know what to do. They're absolutely pissed off of what I've done, and they're very mad.
Same people who are bombarding you are the same people who were bombarding Henrik, the same people who were bombarding LGM. They're the same people who are review bombing down in the Steam reviews.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, everybody took a wide turn, and I bet you that even you feel the same way, that if you played this game every day. Oh, did he? Oh shit, this is getting juicy, man. I love this. This is the most fun I've had in this game in a long time. And all I can say, Wolfsheet, is that I've never felt better. The sun shines a lot brighter on this side, man. Work if you do,
I mean, I'm working as a web developer, and this YouTube channel is just a hobby. And I'm really trying to be as neutral as possible and as gather as much information as possible, but sometimes it's just too much.
For sure. So everybody's got to have a life, and it's gotta have some point. And if you like the game and you've put a lot of time into it and you're putting the negative reviews out there, that's totally uncalled for, or because you didn't get your way. I feel like this has been a good conversation, and I hope that if anything, you don't try to cut out anything of where I've been talking, you know, and get.
Oh, he's gonna have to edit down.
You know?
Nobody's gonna want to listen to an
Of
hour
course.
long. Okay.
Of course. I just mean as in.
We cut out the core thing, the ass, the ums, and the stuff that is not relevant to this topic.
No, exactly.
No,
do what you gotta do.
I should say as in the important parts of my talk. I don't want it to be.
Or
like,
if you want, well,
scripted
it's like
and-
just sum up, you know, what he said. If you want to use
Yeah.
anything I said, go right ahead. The only thing I would ask you not use, well, one, just for the sake of my own sanity. If I'm coughing, please edit it out.
So yeah, there you have it. Basically, a few stories of a few sites. So if you also have a story, please contact me. But I hope this summons it up and this gives a little bit more light to the whole picture. So please, if you like and subscribe, would be really awesome. Share the video and ring, ring, ring the bell. Special thanks to all the supporters, of course. Carmel, Professor Lukario, Rhonus, Paarthurnax, Cologne, Bulldog, Giovanni, Vargas, Mip, Greta, you, and all the others, of course. And never forget to make party hard. Or political hard. Or I don't know, make anyone hard. Oh no, that was wrong. I mean, just party hard. See you all next time. Goodbye.